Hi, I'm Dr. Jerry Montagna, and in this segment we're going to talk about how to set up and the basic uses of the Warp 10. The Warp 10 is one of the devices built by Quantum Devices Incorporated in Wisconsin. This is one of the units used in the NASA research and used in the military. Whenever you find a unit that is advertising NASA research or University of Wisconsin research, the research was done with the warp system units. So if it's not a warp system unit, then it's not one of the units that actually did the research. When you receive the Warp 10, you're going to get three things. One, the unit itself, a battery charger, and a set of AA rechargeable batteries. The batteries will be charged when they come, but I always recommend to the patients of my chiropractic practice or the customers that we sell to that they charge them up before using them, but you don't have to if you don't want to. To put them in the charger, it's very simple. The negative side, which is the flat side, goes into the bottom, and you punch them all in and then plug it in and they charge. When the batteries are low and need charge, it takes a little less than an hour and a half, so it's a very quick charge. To put them into the Warp 10, on the front you have a screw here. So you just unscrew that, and when it comes from the factory, it's usually tight. You may take a screwdriver that first time, and then you just pull the unit off. There's a cradle in here for the batteries. You just pull it up and out. It takes all 8 batteries, and I mention that because some people have looked in, saw the 4, put the 4 in, and then call and say it doesn't work. They thought the other 4 were spares. No, it takes all 8 batteries. If you do this in a office setting like our office, we'll tend to have an extra set of batteries charged around, and if you need that, let us know. We can arrange that. These are very high-powered batteries. When we first started getting the batteries from the company, we would get 30, maybe up to 50 88 doses, 88-second doses from the unit. These were getting 100 or more. Now, if it sits around for a month in between using it, then yes, the batteries are draining away. But if you're using it regularly, you should get about 100 uses out of it. And my understanding is these batteries are extremely high-quality batteries. You should be able to get several hundred charges out of them. To put it into the cradle is very simple. The flat part, the negative part, goes against the spring. As in most electronic devices, you have to alternate back and forth. So just put the flat part against the spring. All 8, I mentioned that again, just to reiterate the fact that we do not send extra batteries. You get all 8 batteries in there. Now, on the cradle, you're going to find there's 2 buttons, 2 metal buttons, and in the unit, you'll see 2 metal clips. You just line those up, snap it in place, replace the cover, and it's ready to go. And it's that simple to set up. To use it, on the back are 2 buttons and 2 lights. The button on the right is the start button, and one would assume that it will start the light working. The one on the right is the stop button, and as assumed, it stops the light. Now, one thing I want to mention, when you push the start button, it'll run, as I mentioned, for 88 seconds, and then it'll shut itself off. If you push the stop button, it still has to go the 88 seconds before you can start it up again. So just be aware of that. The 2 lights on top, one is, as you can see shiny there, says delay. That delay button, you'll see it 3 different times. One, if you push the stop button, it will tell you we have to wait for the 88-second cycle to continue. Another time you'll see the delay is when it runs its 88 seconds and stops, it'll come on for about 2 seconds while the unit resets itself, recalibrates itself to be able to function and produce the 670 nanometers, which is what you're wanting and paying for and need. The other time the delay will come on is if the unit warms up and it says, I have to wait to cool down. This is important for 2 or 3 reasons. One, it will never overheat, so you know the unit's going to last basically forever. The unit that we bought in 2003, we still use in our chiropractic practice today. It was made for the military. It's solid. It just highly endures things. I've known of very few of these to ever be sent back to the company, even after several years. Another time that it'll come on is, well, with the overheating. The other reason for the overheating is an LED chip, if it warms up, will lose its efficiency by as much as 50%. So this keeps it from getting too hot. This is not an infrared lamp. It will not produce heat out into the body. So what it does is gets the body to get its circulation going, so it brings the circulation to the skin, and you will actually heat up the unit. I've had people say, well, I feel the heat coming from the unit, and then I take them and have them feel the glass, and the glass is lukewarm where their skin is very warm. You are actually heating the unit up. As well as anything you use with batteries over and over will get warm and produce heat. So if you use it about 10 times in a row, you're going to find this delay light come on and say, hold off, give me a chance to cool down. This is specially made and designed and has a chamber in here to dissipate the heat. They worked it with the FDA that it had to do that. It will not produce heat into the body, or it'd be called an infrared lamp, where this is near infrared. The other light is the low battery light. When that comes on, recharge your batteries. Now I want to mention something about that. I continually have people call and say, there's something wrong with the unit. The low battery light comes on, but the batteries still have charge. They'll put them into the charger and on the display, or they may put a tester on and say there's still charge in it. This is not a flashlight. With a flashlight, you will run until the beam is completely gone. You can't do this. Again, you want 670 nanometers to come out. If it doesn't produce that kind of energy, you're not going to get your results. So when it gets down to a certain point, the unit will say, I don't have enough power to give you what it is you're supposed to have. Recharge the batteries. You'll still have 50%, maybe more, charge on the batteries. So don't think there's anything wrong. The unit's extremely intelligent. It will tell you when to recharge the batteries. Now, if you recharge the batteries and you put them in, you only get 1 or 2 doses after that, then you have a bad battery. But again, that will be way down the way. But you need to pay attention and don't expect the batteries to be completely drained. That's the basic setup. Basic use is very simple. You always want to go against the skin. Don't go through clothes. Clothes will dissipate the light. You want to go through skin. And if you're doing a joint, go all the way around a joint. If I want to do, say, my thumb here, I will do here, and I will do all the way around the wrist. If I'm going to do my elbow, not through the clothes, but I would do it on skin, I would do below the elbow, above the elbow, and in the crease. In the same way with the knee. You would do the lower leg, upper leg, and then behind the knee. That's one of the bigger things. I frequently get calls from doctors that say, I've got this knee problem and it's not responding. Why isn't the warp helping it? And I ask them, did you do just the spot? And they say, yes. I have them do the entire knee, front, top, bottom, and in the front and in the back, and they get the response. So it's important you cover the whole thing. If you're doing an open sore, you could put cellophane or some kind of saran wrap or something, a clear wrap, plastic, and put it over it. You can also clean these using a alcohol swab or something like that. Do not put them under the water. I shouldn't have to mention that, but I will, because many times you have to. I hope this helps explain how to set it up and get the basic uses going out of it. If you have any questions, whether you bought from us or not, any comments, let us know. You can contact me at www.warp-light.com. That's warp-light.com. If you're having results, we want to know it. That lets us, and I say us, lets the company know where to kind of go their next research. That's why the dry macular degeneration, concussions, even some Alzheimer's tests are going on now because of results that people have said that they found with it. So if you're having results, let us know. We want to hear from it. But if you got a problem, let me know. If I can't answer it, I connected enough with enough people that I can get you the answers. I hope this helps. Hope you have a great day. May God bless.